everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video I'll be showing you guys my January 2021 bullet journal setup. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so for my January bullet journal setup this year, I decided to go for like a navy blue star theme. I know actually on the cover of the Shop Amanda Rachel book there is a star because Amanda, she did, I'm pretty sure it was like a constellation theme for one of her setups. So I thought if I ever don't know what spread to do, I could refer to the book and not exactly like do the exact same spread, but just come up with something based off of the symbol. So I saw a star and I was like, what if I do like navy blue stars? So yeah, that's basically kind of what inspired this setup. Here I'm just going in with the January, so I just did like this cursive font. It doesn't have like a specific theme for upstrokes and downstrokes, which I kind of liked about the style, and I did that with this navy blue Archer and Olive paint marker pen. I know that Archer, well, I know I recently got Archer and Olive paint markers, so I really wanted to use them for my January setup. So I'm just drawing all different types of stars in different shapes and sizes, or well, it's basically like the same main shape, but I'm just drawing them with different sizes and going from the top page to the bottom page, and then I just went around with a border to add something to the spread. It is more like of a minimalistic spread, but yeah. And then this next line that I'm drawing, not this one, but the next one is really wobbly, so I did end up using the acrylograph paint marker pen in the white to cover it up and then go over. So throughout the setup I've been kind of using that as my whiteout, and I really like it because it's not like whiteout is more like another layer. It kind of just like goes in with it, so it's not really a really thick part of the paper, so I prefer using that over whiteout. And yeah, so then I'm just adding some Shop Amanda Rachel washi tape. I use the washi tape from the light neutral set, which is a recent addition to my washi tape collection. So I use this grid one and striped one as well as the star one, which I thought perfectly matched the theme for January. And then I also went in with this like silver jelly roll to add some accents and dots. So then for my quote page I wrote "Live the moment" because that is something that I wanted to focus on throughout the year and especially this month. So yeah, I thought it would be like a nice inspiring quote to start off the year because yeah, that's my New Year's resolution, just to like live the moment and enjoy the moment. So that's the quote that I did for my January page, and then I just experimented with different fonts, and then I added the stars on around the quote, as well as that silver jelly roll. I actually had that for a while. I think I've had that silver jelly roll for about a year now, which is pretty good. So I haven't used it, and I thought it went well with the spread, especially with that like silver star washi tape. So everything kind of like correlated together, I guess you could say. Yeah, so I'm just adding some of that washi tape and adding some final touches to the spread. Okay, so now moving on to my calendar spread, I decided to go for a minimal layout. I was inspired by Amanda Rachel in her January setup. She did her calendar with no vertical lines, so it looks really nice and clean, and I wanted to try it out for myself, especially for this spread I'm doing this month. So basically the calendar only has horizontal lines and it doesn't have any vertical lines going down it, so there's no like specific like squares for each day. You'll see as I go through the spread, but I just drew a top bar with the navy blue Archer and Olive pen, and then I'm just drawing those horizontal lines, and basically that is the like main structure of the calendar, and I really like how this turned out. But yeah, I'm very surprised that this pen hasn't, like the navy blue pen hasn't ran out yet, but considering how much I've used it in my spreads, it's still pretty mind-blowing. I don't know how that much paint fits into that little cartridge of like that little pen. So it's still going. I'm still using it for my weekly spreads throughout the month, and it's still working. So it got me through the whole spread, and hopefully it'll get me through January. But yeah. So then here I'm just writing out the days through the week with this white paint marker, and I'm just writing Monday through Sunday, and then I'm going in with the numbers. So while I'm writing out these numbers, I thought I'd let you guys know that I will link everything, as I say in all of my videos. I will link all the supplies I use in the description box down below in case you're interested in purchasing any of the supplies, or just curious of any of the supplies I'm using throughout the video. But yeah. So for the January title, I went in with that same font. It's kind of hard to describe the font, considering it's like it was hard to keep up, like not keep up, but it was hard to maintain the same font throughout the spread, because I know for especially like my habit tracker, the font was not on point. So it's like, usually my fonts that I do in my bullet journal are more like monoline and equal, and like more like cleaner with upstrokes and downstrokes, but with the style I wanted to go for, I thought I'd just change it up a little bit. New year, new year, new fonts. But yeah, anyway, so I just wrote January at the top with stars, and all these stars are like going down the top of the bullet journal page with all the different sizes. I did some like really tiny stars and some pretty large stars. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I just drew those out throughout the page, and then I'm going in with that silver jelly roll, and basically all that is I'm just adding like these little dots. You can't really see it on camera because of the ring light and the reflection, but yeah. So then I'm writing focus and tasks for the month. These are basically where I can write my focuses and my tasks. So for focus, I can write things that I want to focus on throughout the month, and tasks are, sorry, not tasks, I can't even talk. Tasks are where I use I write like more monthly tasks of overall things that I want to do throughout the month. But yeah, and then I'm just drawing some stars around that. I think pretty much any YouTuber or any YouTuber that does voiceovers can relate, or most people, but I know that when you film a voiceover, it's kind of awkward because when you have nothing to say, you just say the most random things and then you mess up on your words. So I apologize, see, I did it again, if I do that throughout the setup. Anyway, so now moving on to my habit tracker. This spread, it's basically like most of my habit trackers, and guys, I've actually been doing pretty well with filling out my habit trackers recently. As you guys know, last year, well, for the last half of the year when I did my bullet journaling, I haven't been the best at filling out my habit trackers. So yeah, I'm actually doing better. So here anyways, like I was saying, I'm doing better with filling out my habit trackers, sorry. But yeah, so I've been trying to fill them out almost every day. Almost every night before I go to bed, I've been checking and filling them out. So I'm pretty proud of myself for that. I'm not I don't do it every single night, and I'm still trying to get better at it, but it's just little steps. I will eventually start to improve a lot, and this is a pretty big step. So yeah, anyways, for my habit tracker, I decided to go with that same font, and this is what I meant by the font. Where the angle that you're looking at now, it doesn't look as bad, but once you flip it over, it's really slanted. I think it's because the angle that my notebook was, and it doesn't really match the rest of the spread. I've kept it for now. I thought I may change it later, but yeah, for now I'm just keeping it like that. This, like I said before, the font has been kind of hard to do the exact same font for every single spread, but I think I kind of got it down pat for my weekly spread. So for each box, I decided instead of my stamps, this definitely took me a long time. I probably should have used my stamps. But I do these kind of like grid calendar things. So whenever I complete a task, I'll color in the grid instead of like crossing out or drawing a circle over the number if I were to use my stamps. I'll definitely probably use my stamps next year because this was very time consuming. But yeah, I think it was worth it. I'm excited to try something new. But yeah, so then over top of the little calendar grid thing, I just drew these like navy blue boxes where I would write the tasks, and then I did I'm pretty sure 10, and then I just wrote all of them down, and then the clips kind of got cut out, but I also did like a star, like drew some stars at the bottom wherever that empty space was. And yeah, and then I'm just adding some washi tapes, and that's pretty much it for my habit tracker. So now moving on to my next spread, I did a brain dump just to like dump out all my thoughts. I've noticed recently habit trackers, they're not really ideal for me. I haven't really felt the need to keep track of my mood trackers. I haven't felt the need to keep track of my mood recently. Maybe I'll do it throughout the later year, but through like a few months of bullet journaling, I found out that a habit tracker and like a brain dump is probably the best decision to do. But yeah, so now that was a pretty fast spread, but I just stuck with the theme basically. Now moving on to the weekly spread, I'm basically writing out I'm doing like, I usually do these spreads for when in my setups. Throughout the month, I've definitely experiment with layouts, but I just kept with like a simpler layout. So yes. Yeah, I'm just going in with the navy blue marker, like yeah, I don't really have much to say about the spread. It's basically, I did the same thing in each box, put it that way, and I added some stars throughout the spread and just kept with that font. Like I said before, I actually did like a fairly good job compared to like my habit tracker at maintaining the same font. But yeah, so then I'm just writing Monday through Sunday. And yeah, I definitely did because I'm uploading this a bit later. Well, right when I'm filming this voiceover, it's currently January 10th, but I'm uploading this a bit later than I usually do. So I've already filled in all my tasks for this spread, and I do like how it turned out. Like I can look, flip back on it right now, and I think yeah, I really like how it turned out with the tasks written inside. But yeah, I actually did enjoy the spread. At first when I was doing it, not even gonna lie, I didn't know if it had that much potential, but when I added, you'll see, but I added stars in between the spread and in between all the boxes, so I think I really like how that turned out, and it added a lot of dimension and pop to the spread. So yeah, I'm just going in, I'm going in with a quote, and I just wrote "wish upon a star." I don't know, I thought of a quote that had to do with stars, and that was the first one that I came up with. So I just did it with that font, and then I did more of a traditional font, and then added some stars around it. And yeah, and I didn't really add much else to the quote. And then here, yeah, so like I was saying, I added stars in between the boxes, but I haven't done a type of spread that I boxed off the specific days like I did, and I wrote the day within the box. So it was kind of a new spread for me, not in terms of the layout, mostly just in terms of the style. So I added the stars in between, and I really like how this turned out. It's definitely the part of the spread that kind of tied it all together, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm just going in with the paint marker, and then after that I went in with the jelly roll, and I just added those little dots. For the dots, I kind of like alternated within the sizes. Some of the sizes were like smaller, and then some of like the silver sizes were bigger. Oh yeah, here I'm just fixing the quote because the W on the quote, it was like, yeah, it was kind of disconnected with the I. Long story short, but yeah. So yeah, here I'm just going in with the silver jelly roll, and that pretty much concludes the spread. All that was left to do was basically just to add some washi tape. But yeah. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed my January 2021 bullet journal setup. Here is the final flip through of all of these spreads I did. I definitely did like how this theme turned out, and I can't wait to try new spreads in the future. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye!